Hello makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So this video is going to be just me talking about all the new indie makeup releases from the past week or so and my personal opinion on them, whether I'm going to be buying them or saying bye to them. So I really love doing this video each week, and this series is inspired by Angelica Nikis and Samantha March, so I will have both of their channels linked down below in case you have not checked them out yet. And I also have all of the Instagram accounts that I use to get the photos and information to make this video every single week. If I'm a little bit more like toned down in this video, it's because I still have I'm still sick, and have the weirdest cough where if I like raise my voice or I just like, I don't know, breathe too much, I just like have a coughing fit. So I've filmed this intro so many times because every time I say hello fellow makeup lovers, I can feel it like in my chest, like I just start coughing. It's not fun. I'll leave a timestamp down below because I'm sure I'm about to get a little bit chatty, but this past 2 weeks and a half has been ridiculous because, okay, so there was Thanksgiving, which is, I used up some of my pre-filmed videos for because it was Thanksgiving. Jeez. I wanted to spend time with my family, and then my son got sick, and then I got sick, and then somewhere in between the sickness I decided to cut my hair, and I felt like, I don't know, I was really insecure about it, so it made me not want to film, and I'm still like, I just don't feel like myself, I just feel weird, so that's like a contributing factor to not filming. And then, so all that happened, and I got a few videos up. I got my goal up each week. I've been like just hanging on, like just barely, but I ran out of all my pre-filmed videos, and I've just been like, I feel like my content this past week, I'm not like super proud of it, which kind of makes me like, I don't know, like, I mean, I guess I am, but at the same time, it's like, there's so much more I want to be doing, so many, I have so many ideas that I wanted to have out for December, and it's like, already like over a week in, so I just feel really stressed about it. But, and then, what I was gonna say is that 2 days ago, no, 3 days ago, I sat up in my bed, in the morning, and I was all the way to the side because my son was sleeping with me, because when he's sick, he's miserable, and he wormed his way into my bed. I don't normally let him sleep with me. So I was all the way on the side, and I didn't realize how far over I was. I sat up, I looked around, I saw like, oh, it's still pretty dark, I can go back to sleep. And so I went to lay my head back down, and stupidly, I just like fell backwards because I thought I was falling backwards into my pillow. And I fell back, and I slammed like the back of my head right here into my bedside table. I saw stars, basically. The whole world was spinning. It was not fun. I had a giant lump on the back of my head, and it's still really sore, like really, really tender to the touch. But luckily the bump has gone away, but I did spend like a solid 2 days with the worst headache of my life and also feeling pretty lightheaded, so that contributed to not filming. Oh gosh. Honestly, I would like, my son was driving me crazy because when he's, like I said, he's been sick and he's been miserable, so he's like crying and screaming, and I have like I had the worst headache to where like even like any sound, it was just like ringing in my ears. So it's been a really, really interesting week. And then to top it off, I filmed this video earlier and all the footage was out of focus. I'm like, when it rains, it pours. And then I went to pour myself a glass of wine, and this was all that was left in the bottle. I am disappointed, to say the least. I'm a little bit angry, even though I know that I'm the one who drank all the other wine and it's my fault that this is all that's left. Okay, so I feel like I don't have as much to talk about this week because I've been feeling really indifferent towards a lot of makeup releases that are coming out, and I feel like the whole point of this video series is to say, like, to talk about things I feel strongly about. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, like I don't love this, I don't hate it, I kind of like, I guess it's okay, it might work for blah blah blah. Like, I just don't want to do like a whole video of just like, oh, like I guess it's okay kind of products. I want to talk about things I feel passionately about, either one way or the other, and then sometimes I'll throw in the indifferent ones if it's like if I was tagged in it or a lot, or if it's just like a highly anticipated product or something and I feel indifferent about it, then I'll throw that in. But so who knows? I think this video is going to be a little bit shorter, but we'll see. Let me just ration out one sip of wine before we start. Okay, so the first product I want to talk about is the new GlamLite Pizza Palette, and I think this is the product I'm most excited about this week. So GlamLite a few days ago, they did a like sneak peek and said that they were going to be coming out with the most epic collaboration ever, and I was really, really intrigued to see what it was going to be. And then they did the whole like commercial slash advertisement like for like a pizza themed palette teaser video. What I don't even know what to call those. Like when a brand does a teaser, I mean, I guess I'll just call it a teaser video. And I thought like that's hilarious. And I really, really love the packaging of the palette, and I think it's just a funny theme overall. I personally am a big fan of pizza, at least pizza when it's done right. Like, if you've never had northern pizza, like northern US, like New York style pizza, you're not living. Like, if you think that Domino's pizza is good or Pizza Hut, like, you're not living. No shade, no lie, no tea. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Get yourself some New York style pizza. It's the best. Um, anyways, I'm kind of a pizza snob, but moving on. They did also reveal the inside of the palette, and I think this is actually so beautiful. There's so many different like really warm, reddy pink tones. I really like the different shades in here. Like, I could honestly go through and pick out every single shade and tell you what I like about it. I like the shade Basil, that's like a true olive green. The shade Green Peppers is a teal. I think the shade I'm most excited about is either Mushrooms, which is like a really mauvey purpley gray. I think that's a really interesting shade, or Kalamata Olives. Really pretty deep intense purple. So I really do like this palette, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. So I see myself getting this. It is launching on 12/12 and it'll be $40. I think it's a really cool palette. I know people don't like the packaging. They say it's a little bit bulky, which I totally understand, but for me personally, I would never not there it goes again. I would never not buy something just because of the packaging, unless the packaging really, really like went against something that I stand for, and I definitely have nothing against pizza. So I like it. I think it would be a really cute idea if they did. I saw this in my Instagram comments, if they did this as like a pizza slice instead of like an entire pizza, if they had ended up coming out with smaller palettes with little slices, I think that would be really cute, and it would still kind of give you the pizza theme without like the gigantic palette. Also, it's circular. I don't understand why people hate circular palettes. I mean, I guess I get it, like it doesn't go with everything else, but it still stacks just fine. Like, I have circular palettes and I have no problem fitting them in my drawers. Like, if it's colors that I like, I will fit it into my life. So I don't mind the packaging. I will say one thing that I'm kind of curious about. I haven't heard anyone say this, but I'm curious if anyone who is vegan or vegetarian who's not a fan of meat, if they won't buy this palette specifically because it does have so many different shades named after meat. I'm curious about that. Sugarpill came out with some new single shadows, and they revealed all the shades so far. There are 7 shades here, and I think overall these are really pretty. It's like a really nice selection of like pastels and bright shades, and I think all together in a palette this would actually be really cool. But being as they are a little bit more on the expensive side, they're all single shadows, I don't see myself purchasing all of them. The one shade that really is getting to me would be the light, like lavendery purple. I think that one is stunning. That's the shade I have my eye on the most, but I don't see myself making a purchase just for that one shade. So I think those are a pass for me for now. So next, Winkylux came out with 3 new palettes. And there is the Royal palette, the Sugar palette, and the Uptown palette. Am I the only one? Every time I hear the word Uptown, I think of Uptown Girls. And also how much I miss Brittany Murphy and how she was one of my favorite actresses. Anyways, these palettes, I'll say something nice first. I do really appreciate that Winkylux is sticking to a 9-pan palette. I'm really a fan of 9 pans. I feel like that's enough to really do something different and have options, but also still be a small palette. I like 9 pans. I like the way that they look, like the square. I don't know. It's my aesthetic. So I do appreciate that they have continued to do that, but I feel like these palettes are so boring. I feel like they're so unnecessary. Like, the palette all the way to the left in the like more golden packaging feels like very similar to the Modern Renaissance palette, except it has a black. And then the other 2 palettes kind of remind me of the Nudie Patootie palette. So I don't know. I'm not drawn to these at all. I think I think most people who already own makeup would have these shades. I think that actually the pinky rose gold palette, the shade in the middle, that like lavender metallic shade, is the one that gets to me. That's the only one I'm kind of like about. But everything else here, I'm just like, was it necessary? I think we kind of have to like stop sometimes and think about makeup and think like, what is it about this palette that's going to make me use it more? Like, what is it about your brand or what you're putting out that's special or unique or different that you deserve my money that I worked hard for? I don't know, I just want to be a little bit more critical because my collection is a little bit out of control, so I just, no, not here for these. Next is a new palette, and this is from this is from Laushandco, and this is their Princess Sofia palette. It's extremely affordable, only $16.99. It's available now for pre-order, and this kind of goes to what I was just saying, where it's kind of like, I mean, it's pretty. It's kind of a rainbow palette, but like it's like, what is it about this palette that I need it when I have all these other shadows? You know what I mean? So I thought I would mention this because it does look like there's a good mix of colors, and it could be fun if you wanted something small and colorful and affordable to add into your collection. Of course, I can't speak to the quality at all. I've literally just learned about this brand. I think it's pretty. I do like some of the individual shades, but I just don't feel like I need to spend my money on it. So next we have a little sneak peek from Amy Heart's Beauty, and I'm pretty excited about this. They're sneak peeking some new Duochromes, and you can see the color on her lid here is so stunning. Like that really iridescent pink shade I think is beautiful. And I have some of their Duochromes single shadows that they already have, and they're really, really nice. I'm actually wearing the Stone Cold palette on my eyes today, and also wearing one of their highlighters. Actually, let me just pull it out right now so I can tell you guys in case you're curious. This is the highlighter in the shade Ben and Jerry, living for the ice cream reference. It's just like a really like icy pink shade, so I think that's really, really pretty, and I plan on doing a review on their new collection soon, but like I said, life has been crazy. Anyways, that aside, I do like their current Duochromes, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring out next. So this next product I really had to mention because I just think these are so flippin' cute. These are the Just Peachy Cosmetics rainbow sponges. And I mean, just look at them. They're adorable. They're available now. They're $5 each. I don't know how soft they are or anything like that. I just know that when I saw them, I fell in love. So I kind of have a backstory to this product because a few months ago, Beauty Blender came out with the Sapphira Beauty Blender, and it was like all this hype and everything. And it was like, it's a Beauty Blender, but it's blue. Like, it was like, what? Like, why are you hyping it up like it's one color different? I really didn't understand it, and I went on a whole rant in one of my indie makeup, or it might have been new makeup releases still at that time before I made the switch over to just talking majority about indie. But I did a whole rant talking about how the sponges, like, I just didn't understand the hype, and I was like, when are they gonna do something different and unique, like different patterns? Like, well, who cares if it's just one color different? Because I have the Japanese Kumadori sponge, and I love this one. I feel like the pattern on it is so fun, and like you can get it really, really dirty because of the coloring, and you can't tell that much. You can kind of right now because I used a white setting powder on it, so that's why it looks a little bit ghosty. I ended up taking that rant out of my video because I was like, nobody wants to listen to me complain about sponges for 5 minutes, so I mean, you can't find that video anymore. But when I saw these, it made me think of that because it is what I wanted to see. It's something different, it's something unique, it's fun, it's a rainbow sponge. I just love it. So I really am. I don't need it. I really don't need it. It's not on my list to buy, but I do really like it. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see in the future what sponges are going to happen. Like, I would really love to see, like, cheetah print or leopard print, zebra print. What else could we do? I don't know. Like, just different sponges that are fun. And, ooh, tie-dye. A tie-dye sponge. I don't know. I'm excited about it. I feel like there's a whole future of sponge designs to come. If anyone wants to hire me to design sponges, just my email's in my bio. Okay, so next, Juvia's Place came out with a few new products this week, and first they have their new Tribe highlighters. These are all available now, and they are $15 each. There is the darkest shade is volume 1, the medium shade is volume 2, the lightest shade is volume 3, and they also have a bundle. I believe it's $43. So I think these are pretty. I like the packaging. I like to see Juvia's Place expanding. I was kind of tempted by the lightest shade, but I'm really not sure if it's going to work for my skin tone. Because looking at the person who's swatching it, they look to have like a medium skin tone, or maybe like light medium. They don't look to be like as fair as me. And you can kind of see in the picture that there is a little bit of like a darker undertone to the highlight where the light isn't touching it or catching it. So I'm not sure if it'll be light enough for me. So that was one reason I was kind of like, yeah, I need to wait for reviews. And also it's sort of against my no buy rules, which my almost no buy is what I'm gonna call it. I will talk about that probably in either the end of December or the beginning of January. I'm kind of using December as like my trial month to make sure that my rules work for me. So I decided to go ahead and pass on this, especially because it's $15 and I have so many highlighters I already love that I just feel like I don't need to bring another highlighter into my life. But moving on, they also came out with the Tribe palette, and this is for $20, and it is one of their 9-pan palettes I love. Like I said, I love their 9-pan palettes. I love looking at them. I think they are so aesthetically pleasing. I love the packaging, and these colors I actually really, really adore. I love the mix of the greens and the warm tones, and I mean, I think in the pan they look fine, but then when you see the swatches, I think they just look absolutely stunning. So I am really, really intrigued by this palette, intrigued by the color scheme. I love Juvia's place, so I did go ahead and purchase this. And hopefully, if I'm feeling better, I will have a video up on this sometime this week, because Juvia's place is in New Jersey and I'm in Pennsylvania, so I normally get my packages from them like incredibly fast. They already shipped it and everything, so I'm sure I'll get it tomorrow or Tuesday. So I'm really excited to get my hands on this. I think it's really, really beautiful. So I don't know, I really like it. And I think I've said this in the past that like even if there's shades in a Juvia's Place palette that it's not something I would normally wear, I'm still drawn to them because the quality is so good. Like the middle shade in here, I can't read what the name is. I think it might be like Chaga or something like that. It looks to be like a deep bronzy shade. It's not exactly like my favorite color, but I know the quality would be so good that I still have some chance of using it. But every other shade in the palette pretty much really caught my attention, especially the really deep teal, the really chartreuse lime green, the medium green tone, and then like the whitest shade that looks to be a blue duochrome. I'm like, is that named Amy? Because that was probably made for me. So next, Dulzura Cosmetics came out with some new loose highlighters, and they are all available now. They're $12 each with 15 grams of product. So these are a pass for me for right now, just because I really don't need any more highlighter in my life. I have some loose highlighters that I'm seriously obsessed with right now, so I feel like I don't even I mean, I trap myself because I'm like, oh, I want to try that to test out the formula, and then I have like 80 million of the same thing that I need to get through, so I'm gonna pass on these for now. But they do look like a bunch of different pretty colors, and Dulzura highlighters are really, really blinding, so I'm sure that these are really nice. So I could see myself picking one up eventually, but not yet. Next, I wanted to mention the first launch for a new brand, and this is from Mystifying Cosmetics, and this is their Garden Fairy Facial Mist. So it actually just launched today, so it's already available when you guys are seeing this, and it's $12, but they do have a coupon code right now for 30% off your order. And this is supposed to be like a facial mist. I guess it's like you can use it for priming and setting if you please, but it's more skincare related. You know, do it with your skincare in the morning or at night, and it's supposed to, I think they claim, to help with acne, redness, something else. I just know it's supposed to be magical for your skin, basically. So you can see the bottle's pretty cute. They have like rose petals in there, and okay, you guys might laugh at me and judge me, but I did go ahead and purchase this. I'm a little bit weary because I feel like in the live, the owner said that there is lavender in the bottle, and I think that I'm allergic to lavender because every time I use a product with lavender, I get hives. But I haven't been officially like, oh, oh, you're allergic to lavender from a doctor, so I'm not 100% sure. I did go ahead and purchase it though because the owner seems like such a sweetheart, so cute. Her name is Riley, and I really want, you know, good things for her brand, and I love to see indie brands start up and do well, so I wanted to go ahead and support And so I figure if it doesn't work out for me because of the lavender, I will pass it on to my mom because she's really into skincare. So I did want to go ahead and mention that for y'all. So I'm excited about it. I'm okay, what the heck? Stumbling over my words. So I'm excited to give it a try and hopefully not have an allergic reaction. But I'm such a sucker for indie brands that I was like willing to take the chance. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So we have one last indie brand to talk about, and this is Ace Beauté. No, I looked up how to say this before. I think it was like Ace Beauté. It sounded like booty, but it was like beau. Okay, beau is beautiful in French, and it's pronounced like beau, and then I think it's tay, like beauté, but not booty. But it sounds like booty, but not quite. Like, okay, I'm not helping myself at all. Anyways, this is the Ace Beauté Flair palette. This is really beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the Juvia's Place palette, with more colors, and I really, really do like the color scheme of this, but I'm really hesitant to purchase it because the Ace Beauty palettes that I already have, here I am calling it Beauty again. I suck. Anyways, the palettes I already have, because I bought their whole bundle, I really like the metallic shades, I really like the color schemes, but I find that my eyes just don't work with them as well. I have a lot of problems with them, like they don't layer very well and they don't want to stick to my outer V unless I start with the darkest color. And I just feel like I need to dive in those palettes more, use them more to justify purchasing this. I don't know. I think this is something I could see myself getting, but I'm gonna wait and watch some reviews and see what other people have to say, if the formula is the exact same, because I really, really do like this color scheme, but I mean, if something doesn't want to stick to my outer V, like what am I supposed to do? So, I don't know. Maybe I will force myself this week. I say force myself because I have way too much makeup and so many things to film and I'm like in over my head, but maybe I will try and get some more playtime out of the other palettes and see how I feel, because I was kind of frustrated, so I kind of put them on the back burner for a while before I was ready to play with them again to see if I can get them to work, because sometimes I would do a look with them and it would turn out perfect, and then the next time I would do a look with the same shades and they would like not stick on my eyes. So I don't know. I think this is beautiful, but I'm just not sure if I'm gonna purchase it because I'm not sure about the formula. I don't know. I mean, I was able to make the palette work and I did like different things. Like I did a week of Ace Beauty Paradise Collection, I think is what it's called. I can have that in the bar right here if you guys are curious to watch that. I do 5 looks with it, with the different palettes basically. I don't know. I'm torn. My gut is telling me no though. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about Trend Mood for a moment. I just have 3 releases to talk about. Okay, so first off, this is the new Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy, and the S's are dollar signs. Honestly, the name made me laugh because I thought like immediately, I was like, my son is always fussy, so can I get fussy to treat myself because I seriously deserve it. So I was kind of definitely going back and forth in my head. I'm like, I really want it, but I don't need it. I didn't want to break my no buy rules because I'm only allowing myself to buy eyeshadow, which might sound crazy, but I'll explain it later at a future date. So I was like, I don't want to break the rules, but I want it so bad because I know that this formula is my absolute favorite. I keep the original Fenty Gloss Bomb in my purse at all times, and I feel like I have really, really dry lips, and it's very hard for me to have a lip gloss that works all the time. Like, most of the time, the lip product that I'm wearing, I have to touch up. I have to keep checking on it. I get that like really annoying white line for almost everything. And the only products I've found where I don't get that is the ColourPop Luxe lipsticks. Liquid lipsticks don't give me the white line because they dry down. That's kind of obvious. And the Gloss Bomb formula. So that's why I really wanted to get it. So what I did, I worked it out. So I have been wanting to get the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette, but I was waiting for it to go on Sephora so that I could use a gift card that I had. So I ended up using the gift card and also the VIB reward to get $20 off. I actually had 2 different gift cards, so I ended up paying $6 and I got 2 palettes and the gloss bomb. So I feel like in a way I didn't pay for the gloss bomb. And also I used Ebates, and Ebates had 10% cash back as well. I got it because I feel like it's something I genuinely will use constantly, and I think it's a really pretty shade. So I even made a little meme I can put on screen. It was like, I'm going on a no-buy, and then Rihanna releases this gloss bomb. I really hope she keeps releasing more shades, because honestly, I feel like I could go through all my glosses, almost all of them. There's a few different nude shades that I really, really like ColourPop, what's it called? Moon something? The one that they did with Kathleen Light's Moon. I'm not sure. Something about a moon. That lip gloss I really like. It's a nice like nude. I like the Dose of Colors ones, but I feel like I could get through all my lip glosses and only have the Fenty ones and be happy, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, moving on. Becca came out with a new product, and this is their Ocean Glow blush, bronze, and highlighter all in one compact. In theory, this seems nice. Looking at it, aesthetically, it's pretty, but I just feel so frustrated by Becca because I feel like they have so many good products, and they have the market, they have people to advertise those products, like they're in a good place, if that makes sense, but they just keep coming out with the same thing. Like it's like that meme where it's like you take something and it's like, make sure that they can't tell you copied, and you just tweak like the tiniest little thing. I feel like that's everything they come out with. They're like, let's add a picture to it, let's put it in a palette, let's put it in a set, let's put it a little bit bigger, let's make it a little bit smaller. Like, I just feel like everything that they do, they're just like redoing. So I don't know. I think their products are really nice, and I'm intrigued by a lot of them, but I would just like to see them do something a little bit different. And this is just, I don't know. I feel like I just don't really like all in one things. It's just not the most like time friendly, or just like, I think this is more of a collector's item than something like you're gonna like obviously mush all together and like get dirty and like take away the pattern and everything in like one day. Okay, so the last thing I have to talk about today is from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I thought I would just update you guys because whenever he did the teaser for the Northern Lights highlighter palette, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I love this theme. I could not see myself purchasing it because I don't support Jeffree personally, but I thought like the theme, I was like all for it. I was like, he's a genius. Like, I love the theme. I lived in Alaska. I've seen the Northern Lights. I think everyone should see them at some point in their life. I think that they're stunning, but I just really, really liked the theme of this. I thought it was so aesthetically pleasing. Like, in my head, I was like, yes, like, yes. So what I'm gonna say is that the launch photo, I don't know what to call it, I'll show it on the screen, obviously. I think the palette looks pretty. I like the colors in that more. But then if you see the pictures from Jeffree's video that Trend Mood posted of what the palette looks like in real life, I feel really let down. I mean, I wasn't going to buy it anyways, but I still feel let down because, I don't know, it's the Northern Lights palette, and it's like there's an icy white, a pink, a gold, a peach. I'm like, it's the same shades you always see. There's one blue and like one purpley taupey looking shade. This is not the Northern Lights palette that I had going on in my mind. Even if you look at the packaging, like the packaging shows the Northern Lights and there's like the green lights peeking up, and it's like there's not even a green tone highlighter in the palette. So yeah, it was already a pass for me, but now it's a double pass. If you guys would like to see, I thought about doing like a no drama dupes on this particular palette. Originally when I was thinking if it was something I really liked, but I don't even like the palette, so why would I do something I don't like? But if you guys want to see like a what the Northern Lights palette should have been kind of video, you can let me know, and I'll do that. I'll try. Actually, I don't know, because I think that would require having single highlighters, and I'm not sure if I can put that together, but if it's something you're interested in, definitely let me know. So, I mean, I still think it's a nice idea, and maybe these are shades people would use more often. I know that not everyone loves colorful highlighters the way I do, but I just think for the packaging and the idea and the aesthetic, it's not what I was expecting. Of course, someone did kindly let me know that Northern Lights is apparently a strain of marijuana and that he was able to sneak that in. I was like, oh, did not know that. Got right past me, over my head, like everything else. I think that is everything. Yep, that is everything I had to talk about today. Let me just scoot to the middle, fix my focus, doing manual focus again, trying to figure out my life. I really don't have great eyesight, so I cannot see myself in the viewfinder. That's what it's called, the viewfinder, that well. I'm hoping to get some type of small monitor to hook my camera up to so that I can put it in front of me and see when I'm in focus, because it's just farther away than my other camera was, and I can't see myself that well, so I can't tell when I was in focus. So like I said, I filmed this all earlier and I was out of focus for the entire thing, so I actually rationed my wine pretty well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I think that's everything I have to say for today. So I hope you all have a lovely Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you in a video tomorrow. Bye.